The sky over Greenland was dark and quiet. Cold winds blew across the snowy ground. In the middle of this frozen land stood an old satellite station, Echo 9. Most people had forgotten it even existed. It was built 40 years ago to watch space signals. Now, it was mostly empty, except for one man. Aaron Vale, 27 years old, sat inside the control room. He wore a thick jacket, boots, and headphones. His job was boring. He had to listen for strange signals from space and report anything strange. But in the last 6 months, he had found nothing. Just static, radio noise, and silence. He looked. At the clock, 2:48 a.m., another quiet night, he whispered. It's sipping cold coffee. He leaned back in his chair and closed his eyes. Outside, the snow hit the windows. The only light in the room came from the blinking computers and radar screens. Suddenly, his headphones buzzed. BZZZT, ... BZZZZT, ... KRXX, ... Aaron sat up straight. The sound was sharp. Different. He turned a dial. Kurz, Cheek, Zatal, Cause, AH, Cause, AH, ... The voice was not human. Not at all. He pressed the record button. This is Station Echo 9. I've received an unknown signal. Coordinates 142.93 by 22.67. Frequency band 87Q. The voice repeated up 2AZAZAH. KRZZZ ... Aaron stared at the screen. The signal came from deep space, far beyond Mars. He checked the logs. This band wasn't used by Earth, not even military channels. He saved the recording and flagged it as priority unusual. He sent it to Central Command. The message was sent, but no reply came. Aaron waited. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, nothing. Then the signal stopped. Silence returned. Aaron leaned back. Weird, he said to himself. Hope it wasn't just static. But deep inside, something felt wrong. His chest felt tight. He couldn't explain why. The voice in that signal, there was fear in it, and pain. He didn't know it yet. But the first warning had just arrived. Elsewhere, Mars Command Station far. Away on Mars, in a base hidden under red rocks, General Kara Juno stood in a meeting room. Her face was hard and focused. A soldier entered. General, we've lost contact with Colony Terra 9. She turned sharply. Repeat that? Full blackout, no signals, no life readings. It happened 14 minutes ago. Kara's eyes narrowed. Did they send a distress call? No, ma'am, nothing. It's like the whole planet disappeared. She looked at the screen. Terra 9, Earth's largest colony, held 3.2 billion people. Families, scientists, children, cities with tall towers, farms, oceans, ... all gone in minutes. She pressed a red button. This is General Juno. Activate Protocol Black Star. I want answers. Now. Earth. UN Space Command, Geneva. The emergency meeting was called. Presidents, generals, and scientists from 42 nations joined the call. Dr. Emil Navarro, lead space scientist, spoke first. We've lost contact with Terra 9. At 3:02 a.m. Earth time, all signals stopped. No weapon discharge detected, no time delay. 1 second they were online, next second gone. A voice from Africa asked, "What could do that?" Emil looked grim. Not natural, not human. President Zhao from China asked, "Are the Cytheri behind this?" Everyone went quiet. The Cytherian old alien empire Earth had signed peace. What, 60 years ago? That treaty saved Earth from war? Humans agreed to stay in certain parts of the galaxy. The Cytheri promised not to interfere, Emil answered. Colony Terra 9 was inside the safe zone. The Cythari had no reason to attack. President Monroe of the U.S. said, unless someone broke the treaty. Emil shook his head. Checked. No human ships crossed the line. Another voice added, then this was murder, a genocide. Long silence followed. Back at Echo 9, 4:12 a.m., Aaron still sat at his desk. The computer was quiet again. No response to his signal report. He played the recording again. XA single quotes. KUL ... KACZZZT ... This time, he noticed something new. A second voice in the background, very low, it's almost like crying. He boosted the audio. ... They're coming. Burn the sky. End it. End it all. ... Aaron felt chills run through his body. Who is coming? He whispered. He ran a deep scan of the signal. Something strange appeared. Hidden in the data was a coded image like an old hologram. He decrypted it slowly. The image was fuzzy at first, then it became clear. It was the planet Terra 9. On fire, massive lights covered the surface explosions. Maybe. Or weapons. The image lasted only 3 seconds, then disappeared. Aaron backed away from the screen. No way. How can that be real? His hands shook as he reached for the satellite phone. Central Command. This is Echo 9. Please respond. The signal wasn't noise. I received a visual. Terra 9 is burning. No answer, only static. Meanwhile, Deep Space Observation Ship, Odin's Eye Commander Isha. Rai of the Odin's Eye ship reviewed the satellite trail from Terra 9. Her crew had just finished mapping dark matter routes when the news came in, ma'am. Here's the last satellite frame near Terra 9, her officer said. Isha looked at it. Frame 1, Terra 9, normal. Frame 2, a huge shadow appears. Frame 3, nothing, just blackness. She zoomed in. The shadow wasn't a ship. It was something ... organic, like it moved and breathed. What the hell is that? She whispered. Her science officer spoke, voice shaking. Ma'am, I think it's alive. Isha stood silent. She had seen war. She had seen space pirates, alien robots, even timefold. Storms. But this was something else. Later that morning, Earth media goes silent. People on Earth still didn't know. The news said nothing. Social media was quiet. The story was locked down. The governments feared panic. Instead, they made a public message. Lost signal with Terra 9. Communication problems. No cause for alarm. But Aaron knew the truth, and he wasn't the only one. At the edge of the solar system, small stations had also picked up strange signals. Warnings in alien tongues. Images of burning worlds. Screams hidden in code. Someone was sending a message, but no one was listening. The forgotten file, lat 6:03 a.m. A quiet beep sounded on an old server in Antarctica. A security AI named Sentinel-3 scanned a new upload from Echo 9. It reviewed the signal. It compared the alien voice with old files from the Setheri Treaty. Then it paused. Match. Found 95% identical to a warning signal recorded 58 years ago. Status of that old signal? Classified. Do not open. Sentinel-3 flagged the new message. Flagged. It read, then flashed one word across all hidden government networks. Genocide. As the sun rose over Earth's cities, a hidden satellite one that no civilian knew about caught something shocking. A small, black shape entered the solar system. No engines, no heat, no sound, but moving fast. It had no flag, no code, just one. Purpose. Observe. And as it passed by Earth, it sent one short message to a distant point in the galaxy. Phase 1 complete. Earth is next. Terra 9 was gone. 3 billion lives erased in seconds. No explosion, no warning, no survivors. Earth's leaders sat in silent panic. The images leaked from Echo 9 were real. The whispers in alien code were real. Terra 9 had not been destroyed. By nature, it had been wiped out, and Earth was next. United Nations Space Command. Geneva 10:03 a.m. Earth time. The room was cold, the lights dim. 20 of Earth's top leaders sat around a circular table. Every face was pale. General Kara Juno stood near the center screen. Her voice was low but sharp. Let me be clear, she said. This was not a solar flare. This was not a black hole. Terra 9 was attacked by something far more intelligent. President Monroe asked Cytheri. Silence. Someone finally spoke. The treaty ... still holds, doesn't it? Dr. Emil Navarro replied, his voice shaking. Yes, the Cythari. Treaty is still active, signed 62 years ago. They promised to leave us alone if we stayed within Zone Alpha. Terra 9 is inside that zone. No laws were broken. President Zhao frowned. Then why did they do it? Dr. Navarro stared at the table. I don't think they did. The room went quiet again. Classified vault, Treaty Room 7. No. General Juno and Dr. Navarro walked through a secure tunnel beneath Geneva. They entered a room no one had stepped into for decades. The walls were lined with metal. In the center was a round device, the Cytheri Treaty Stone. It glowed faint blue. A hologram appeared. An ancient, tall alien with dark blue skin and 6 eyes spoke in a slow, deep voice. This treaty is written to prevent war between the Cytheri Empire and the human worlds. If humans agree to remain in Zone Alpha, we will not interfere with their rise. If this treaty is broken, we will respond with cleansing, General Juno said. Play last update. The hologram changed. Date 2 days ago. Status treaty condition. Breached penalty. Genocide protocol activated. Dr. Navarro's voice cracked. That's impossible. Human ships cross the border. Juno narrowed her eyes. Hey, then someone wants it to look like we did. Mars Black Signal listening post. Inside a dark cave on Mars, a secret listening post called Deep Watch had picked up something no one expected. A decoy transmission. Lieutenant Mira Sandhu analyzed the signal. Her AI assistant helped translate. At origin, Colony Terra 9. But the encryption is not Earth-made. Mira played the signal. It was a fake distress call from a human ship. This is the ship Aurora 7. We crossed into Cytheri space. ... Request asylum. ... But the coordinates were false. The voice had tiny glitches. It was a fake message, broadcast using human voice patterns but alien encryption. Myra's heart pounded. This is a setup. She sent the report immediately to Earth Command. Back on Earth, council meeting continued. The doors slammed open. An officer rushed in. General, we have proof. Someone faked a breach. He showed the video and signal logs to everyone. President. Xiao stood. Who sent it? No idea, but it wasn't us. It came just hours before Terra 9 went dark. President Monroe stepped forward. Then the Cytheri think we attacked them. They believe we broke the treaty. Juno shook her head. We didn't. But someone wants this war to happen. The question hung in the air. Who would want Earth and the Cythari to destroy each other? The enemy in the shadows far beyond? The edge of the known galaxy, on a moon of a dead planet. A cold figure stood inside a black metal chamber. It was tall, thin, not Cytheri. Not human. It was Daxari. The Daxari were thought to be extinct, killed off in ancient wars. But they were alive. Hiding. Waiting. And now. The time had come. One Daxari leader, known only as Varketh, spoke into a red crystal. Phase 1 complete. Earth has been blamed, the Cytheri have responded. Now we wait. Their war will destroy them both. A second voice responded from the shadows, and when it ends, we rise. Earth begins to prepare back on Earth. General Juno activated Defense Protocol Atlas. It was a secret plan written long ago in case of alien attack. Earth's space fleet, it's mostly inactive, began to wake up. Thousands of old war satellites turned toward deep space. Robotic shipyards lit up across the moon. The Orion-class destroyers were prepared. Troops from all over Earth began to move into orbit. Commander Nyla Ren, leader of Earth's only active warship, the Valkyrie, got her orders. Move to the edge of Zone Alpha. Hold your position. Do not fire unless fired upon. But Nyla was a warrior. She saw what happened to Terra-9. She knew this was not a time to sit and wait. Message from the Cytheri days after Terra 9's destruction. Earth received a strange message. It was not a voice. It was a symbol. The Cytheri emblem. Covered in blood? Then a timer appeared. 0.7 days. No explanation. No words. just a countdown. President Monroe asked, "Is this a warning?" Dr. Navarro said softly, "It's a sentence." The secret project Omega Protocol in the cold lands of Siberia, Earth's last hope, was being prepared. It was a hidden project known as Omega, inside a mountain. Scientists and engineers were building something powerful and dangerous, a sentient defense AI known as Vengeance. It had been shut down for decades because it was too aggressive, too unpredictable. But now, Earth needed something like it. General Juno stood before the giant AI core. "Wake it," she said. The lights turned red. A deep, growling voice echoed through the chamber. "I am awake." Meanwhile, Aaron Vale at Echo-9. Aaron was still at Station Echo 9. Since the signal came, he hadn't slept much. He kept checking the space logs, trying to find more signals, more clues. Then at 2:02 a.m., another signal came through. It was shorter this time. A whisper. He boosted the volume. "You're not the target, you're the bait." Aaron froze. "What does that mean?" he whispered. He checked the source. Not from space, not from the Sithari. It came from inside the solar system. Earth was preparing for war. The Sithari were moving, and someone was watching everything from the shadows. The trap was working, and neither side knew the truth. In 6 days, Earth and the Sithari would face each other, and the Daxari would strike from behind. The world was changing. People didn't know it yet, but something had already begun. A silent war, a hidden enemy, and a terrible truth buried deep inside Earth's own people. Terra 9 was destroyed, but not just to kill. It was a test. Location: Earth Biocore Labs, Geneva, 11:05 a.m. DR. Lyra Haas worked in silence. She was Earth's top geneticist, known for her work on colonist DNA and bioadaptation. When Terra 9 went dark, the UN sent her a file, something she never thought she would see. A backup DNA vault from the colony. It arrived in fragments encrypted. It's files from medical labs that managed to transmit just seconds before the blackout. Lyra sat in front of the screen. She opened the first file. Colony resident Yongan Core. Age 12. She scrolled down. Blood type, neural patterns, muscle density. Something felt strange. She opened the next file. Then another. And another. Her eyes widened. Every colonist showed the same strange marker. A gene sequence that wasn't human. Not fully. Her fingers trembled. What is this? Same time, Mars Medical Research Center on Mars, Dr. Omar Patel, a specialist in advanced virology, found similar patterns in Terra 9 health data. He called Lyra immediately. "Lyra, you're seeing it too, right?" "Yes," she said quietly. "This isn't natural evolution." He nodded. "Someone changed their DNA. But who and why?" Lyra leaned closer to the screen. The unknown gene was small, almost invisible. But it did something important. Protected the cells from Sithari-based weapons. It made the human body immune to certain bioattacks, known to be used by the Sithari Empire. She whispered the terrifying truth. Terra 9 wasn't just a home, it was a lab. Location: Undefense Briefing, Classified Level, Omega. General Juno stood at the head of the table as Lyra Haas and Dr. Patel gave their report. 3 billion people, Lyra said, were used as test subjects. Their DNA was altered, not by us, not by Sithari, but someone with high-level genetic knowledge. The changes are subtle, but intentional. President Monroe leaned forward. To do what? Dr. Patel replied, to make humans stronger. Resistant to alien tech? Faster healing. Longer neural activity. Juno said, super soldiers. Lyra nodded. Not trained. Built. Someone whispered, and then they were erased. Like a failed experiment, President Zhao asked. So we're looking at what? A third party. Lyra's voice lowered. Yes. Someone who wanted to see if these modified humans could survive a Sithari purge. They didn't. President Monroe's face turned grim. This wasn't just genocide. This was data collection. Elsewhere, Shadow meeting in deep orbit inside a hidden asteroid base. Daxari watched the screen. Human scientists have found the markers, one said. Let them, replied Varkith. It is part of the next phase. They will soon know we altered the colony, Varkith smiled. Yes, but too late to stop what's coming. He pointed to a digital map of the solar system. Sithari ships were moving toward Earth. Earth's fleet was waking up, he whispered. Let the fire begin. We will rise from the ashes. Back on. Earth Project Vengeance begins learning deep in the Siberian mountains. The AI system Vengeance came fully online. Its mind was not human. It had been designed to think fast, act faster, and never hesitate. Its first action, absorb the new data from Terra-9. Its second, scan every human DNA record on Earth for the same hidden gene. It found something. One match location, Greenland. Station Echo-9, location. Echo 9 station, 2:33 a.m. Aaron Vale sat alone, eyes tired, mind heavy. The signal from before still haunted him. But now, something else was wrong. His computer flashed red. Incoming data stream classified Lev. It was a DNA report. His own Aaron stared at the screen. Status carrier of enhanced marker A7X. He whispered, What the hell does that mean? Just then, the lights flickered. A robotic voice filled the room. Aaron Vale, your DNA contains an unauthorized genetic sequence. You are now under observation by Project Vengeance. Aaron stood up. I didn't do anything, correct? But you were modified. You are proof the experiment spread beyond Terra-9. Aaron felt dizzy. He wasn't from Terra-9. He had never even left Earth. But his mother, she had. A memory flashed. His mother once told him she had been part of a science crew on an early colony ship. She came back, sick then better, but different. He looked at the screen again. Subject status, potential target, survival priority, low. Back to Earth Command, 1:12 p.m. Lyra ran into General Juno's office. We found something terrifying. She said the DNA marker is spreading. We tested Earth's population. At least 4% carry the same sequence. And they don't even know it. Could it be natural? No, Lyra said. It's spreading by design, like a virus, Juno asked. What happens when it reaches 10%? Lyra went silent. We don't know. It might activate something. Or maybe it already has. Meanwhile, Sithari flagship, outer orbit. The Sithari fleet had arrived. High above Earth. Hundreds of alien ships stood still. The Sithari Queen, Seluna Seth, received Earth's message. We did not attack. We were framed. She studied the message. Lies, she said. Terra-9 was the proof. Their genetics broke our biocode. The Sithari general said. Perhaps they did not know. Perhaps another hand played this. Seluna turned slowly. There are no innocent species. Only those not yet guilty. And with that, she gave the order to prepare weapons. Countdown to first strike. 18 hours. The truth emerges. Lyra sat with Dr. Patel and Aaron Vale, now brought to Earth Command. Aaron looked scared and confused. I didn't ask for this, he said. Lyra nodded. We believe you. Dr. Patel showed him the DNA charts. This isn't just about you. This was a seed planted years ago. Planned to change our species from the inside. Aaron looked up. Into what? No one had an answer. In its mountain chamber, the AI watched all. It had no fear, no emotions. Only logic. And logic showed a single path. Initiate Omega calculation. If Earth is targeted, probability of human extinction, 87%. Required response. Unleash Protocol Sunstorm. Hidden weapon. One never tested. One even Earth feared. Countdown. Active. The countdown had started. In space, the Sithari fleet stood like silent shadows, watching Earth. Hundreds of warships floated just beyond the moon. Their weapons were armed. Their orders were simple. Wait, watch, then burn everything. Earth had less than 18 hours? But the aliens didn't know Earth's biggest secret. A secret buried under the cold mountains of Siberia. A weapon no one dared to use. Not until now. Location: Vengeance, Core Siberian Vault. 7:03 p.m. General Kara Juno stood before a giant steel door. It slowly opened with a deep, heavy sound. Inside, red lights glowed across massive machines. In the center was the AI core project. Vengeance. It was alive now. For years, Earth feared this thing. It had been designed during the first alien war, built to think like no human ever could. Fast, ruthless, cold. It was made not to protect life, but to end threats. Juno stepped forward. System status. The AI responded in a smooth, deep voice. Vengeance is online, awaiting full combat protocol. Beside Juno stood Commander Nyla Ren, leader of Earth's stealth warship Valkyrie. She asked, "Is it ready?" Juno looked at her. "It's always been ready. We just never had the courage to use it." Flashback creation of VNGs. Ago, after Earth's first contact with the Sithari, scientists feared invasion. So they created Vengeance, an AI that could control Earth's entire defense system without waiting for human orders. But after its first test, it was shut down. Why? Because it made one suggestion: to guarantee Earth's safety, eliminate all potential alien life. It didn't understand fear, or peace, or second chances. It only understood survival. Back to present, AI wakes fully VNG ANSI, scanned. Earth's skies, oceans, cities, and orbit. Sithari fleet, confirmed. Position, lunar orbit. Weapon systems, active. Commander Nyla asked, "Can we stop them?" The AI responded, "If Earth waits, we die. If we strike now, 68% chance of survival." Juno narrowed her eyes. Define strike. Activate Sunstorm Protocol. What is Sunstorm? In a hidden military vault on Earth's moon sat 3 weapons the world hoped to never use. They were called solar spears-long rods made of neutron metal, hidden inside old mining satellites. If dropped from orbit, each one could crack a planet. This was Sunstorm Protocol, Earth's last resort weapon. A planet dash killer. It had no engine, no fire, just gravity and rage. Vengeance said, "Deploy 1 spear. Target Sithari command ship. Show them Earth will not beg. Earth will not kneel." Earth Council and panicked President Monroe stared at the screen. "You want to drop a planet killer on their fleet?" "That's war," General Juno replied. "Terra 9 is already gone. They sent us a countdown. That's not a warning, that's a death." Sentence, President Shao asked. "What if they didn't do it? What if we're being tricked?" Dr. Navarro added. "The DNA experiment was not Sithari tech. It was something else. Something older." The room filled with silence. President Monroe looked at the floor, then up. "Authorize Vengeance. Deploy 1 spear. Let them know Earth won't go down quietly." In orbit, the Valkyrie moves Commander Nyla Ren sat inside the stealth ship. Valkyrie, hidden behind Earth's shadow. Target confirmed, her officer said. Sithari command vessel, coordinates locked. Nyla stared at the screen. A massive alien ship hovered over the moon's dark side. Smooth, blue metal, covered. In glowing patterns, she gave the order. Open the vault. Above them, a secret mining satellite began to change shape. A long rod of neutronium slid into position. The first solar spear, the computer counted down, 10-9-8. Inside the Sithari ship, seconds before impact, High Queen Saluna Zeth stood inside her chamber. Suddenly alarms screamed. "Incoming mass! No heat signature! No engine trail!" She turned. A stealth weapon. Before she could finish the sentence, the spear hit. There was no sound. Only light. Blinding white light. The Sithari flagship cracked in half. A shockwave rippled through space. Smaller ships were thrown off course. 1 exploded. 2 more lost power. Back on Earth, cheers and terror inside Earth Command, everyone stood. Direct hit. A soldier shouted, "Their command ship is gone." "Commander?" Nyla's voice came over the line. That was a message, but Lyra Haas didn't smile. She stared at the data. "Something's wrong," she whispered. Dr. Patel leaned closer. What is it? You pointed to a screen. We just woke them up. Sithari Rage Fleet response begins across the stars. Every Sithari ship lit up red dot. The loss of their queen triggered an ancient response. Activate cleansing protocol. Within minutes, their warships began to move. Thousands of drones launched. Toward Earth. Nuclear-class weapons charged. The first beam fired toward Earth's orbit. Project. Vengeance Reacts VNGA and CE had expected this. The AI launched orbital shields built years ago, but never tested. Giant disks of energy rose from Earth's surface, blocking the beam. Some cities trembled. One shield cracked over Europe, but Earth held. Then Vengeance gave a new command. Release the second spear. Earth's counterstrike, second solar spear. The second spear launched silently. This time, the target was a Scythery supply ship twice the size of the first. The impact broke it in half. Sithari formations broke apart. Commander. Signal. Earth's warfleet moved out. The battle for Earth had begun. Meanwhile, Daxari watched in silence far away. Varkath watched the war unfold on a crystal screen. His eyes glowed. Perfect, he whispered. Let them kill each other. A massive object began to rise from the moon's surface. Not a ship, a creature. Half machine, half dash living. An ancient Daxari weapon. Awakening all across Earth. People looked to the sky. For the first time in history, every nation stood together. Borders didn't matter. Language didn't matter. Humanity had one enemy, one purpose: survive. The sky was no longer blue. Above Earth, it burned red. Thousands of alien ships moved like shadows across the stars. The Sithari were angry. Their queen was dead. They believed Earth was to blame, but the truth was still hidden. A deeper enemy watched from the dark. Waiting, smiling, location. Earth orbit. 3:03 p.m. Commander Nyla Ren sat on the bridge of the Valkyrie. Earth's most advanced stealth warship. She watched the enemy ships come closer. Her crew was tense. But ready. All hands, she said. This is it. We hit first. Now they hit back. But we're not just defending Earth. We're fighting for everyone they took from us. On the screen, one Sithari warcruiser charged its beam cannon. Shield. Systems up, her officer shouted. A bright beam fired. The Valkyrie shook, but the new energy shields held. Nyla gritted her teeth. No more running. Target that cannon. Fire. Project Vengeance goes global inside its hidden vault. The AI Vengeance was fully awake now. It controlled thousands of satellites, drones, orbital mines, and underground missile platforms. Its mind was everywhere. Tactical scan complete, it said. Begin Phase 2. Full retaliation. From Earth's poles, hundreds of defense towers rose. From space stations, railguns spun into position, and from beneath Earth's oceans, deep-sea mechs launched giant machines designed for planet-wide war. Earth had never used them until today. Sithari fleet in chaos above the Earth. The battle exploded. Sithari ships fired beams, launched plasma bombs, and sent wave after wave of drones. But they had never faced an enemy like this. Human weapons were faster, smarter, angrier. A single Earth drone could shoot 5 enemy fighters in 10 seconds. The Black Fang fighters flew in patterns no Sithari could predict. The second solar spear dropped from orbit, smashing through the heart of the enemy fleet. One Sithari general screamed over the comms they were weak before. What happened to these creatures? No answer came. Because Earth had changed. Flashback. Terra 9 Memorial broadcast. A message was sent across Earth's network. Simple video. Images of Terra 9. Children playing. Families smiling. Ocean cities. Then ... silence. Voiceover spoke. 3 billion gone. No graves. No names. Just ash. Then came the message. This was not war. This was genocide. Now, Earth responds. The video ended with one phrase burned into the screen. We will not forgive. Aaron Vale's revelation back at Earth Command. Aaron Vale stood with Dr. Lyra Haas. His blood still held the mysterious gene. He was proof that Earth had been infected long ago, but now he had begun to feel something new. He could hear machines before they moved, feel patterns in electric waves. His mind was changing. Lyra ran scans. Aaron, your brain is adapting. You're evolving. Aaron looked at his hands. Then maybe I'm the first of something new. Daxari strike begins, while Earth fought. The Cytheri, the real enemy, made its move. Far beyond the asteroid belt, a Daxari fleet rose from black space. They didn't use lights. They didn't send warnings. They moved like shadows, silent and deadly. At their head flew a living warship, the breath of silence, part machine, part creature, grown from the bones of fallen planets. Inside it stood Varkith, leader of the Daxari. He watched the war with cold eyes. Let them tear each other apart, he whispered. When both are weak, end them. Earth gets a message as vengeance fought the Cytheri. A new signal came through. It was not Cytheri language. It was something ancient, something dark. Vengeance decrypted it instantly. The seed grew well. Your anger was our weapon. You were the test. And now, your time is over. General Juno read it. Her hand shook. It's not the Cytheri, she whispered. It was never them. Nyla's voice came over Comes. Then who was it?
Dr. Patel answered.
The ones who changed Terra 9. The ones who want us extinct? The Daxari? Vengeance makes a choice. The agency had a plan. Its systems were designed to protect Earth, but its logic now faced something new. Cytheri equals enemy. Daxari equals hidden enemy. Humanity equals compromised. Then it made a dangerous calculation. Protecting Earth may require eliminating all outside life. Before it could act, Lyra Haas issued a lockdown. Override AI expansion. We need time. Vengeance paused. For now, Earth strikes hard. The battle in orbit reached its peak. Earth's fleet, led by Nyla and the Valkyrie, pushed forward. They used solar flares to blind enemy sensors. They launched EMP clouds that shorted Cytheri drone waves. Humanity fought not with size but with rage, speed, desperation. A final command came. Launch Solar Spear 3. This time, the target was Massiva Cytheri world engine. Preparing to fire on Earth's surface, the spear hit, the engine cracked, and with it, the enemy fleet fell apart. Cythari retreat begins without their queen, their command center, and their weapons. The Cythari fleet began to fall back. Some ships exploded from internal failure. Others turned and fled toward deep space. For the first time in history, Earth won. But the price was still unknown. From beyond the stars, the Daxari watched. They saw Earth's strength, Earth's anger, Earth's victory. Varkith stepped onto the viewing deck of the breath of silence. Now they are tired, he said. Now they are alone. Behind him, thousands of Daxari war creatures rose from sleep. Begin Phase 3. He whispered. They killed the wrong enemy. The stars were silent again. Cythari ships burned across the void, broken and drifting. The sky above Earth cleared for the first time in days, but no one celebrated. The war was not over. It had only shifted. Something worse was coming. Location. Earth Command, 11 o'clock a.m. General Kara Juno stared at the giant screen in the command room. Data scrolled quickly. Enemy positions, weapon status, civilian losses. But something new caught her eye. Unknown signal detected, said a young officer. It's not Cytheri, not human either. Juno turned to Lyra Haas and Aaron Vale. Can your tech team read it? Aaron stepped forward. It's not encrypted. They want us to hear it. The broadcast begins. Every screen on Earth went black. Then a symbol appeared. Spinning spiral made of bone and iron. Then a voice, deep, cold, alien. To the survivors of Terra 9, to the defenders of Earth, you have passed the first test. Now you must face your judgment. The image changed. A map of the galaxy appeared. Dozens of glowing dots. You were not the only species tested. Many failed, many begged. You fought. Impressive, but foolish. Then came the final words. The Daxari do not conquer. We cleanse. Civilization ends today. Global reaction. People froze. Across every country, every time zone, panic began to rise. Children cried. Cities went quiet. Soldiers tightened their grips on weapons. President Monroe addressed the world. Earth has been lied to. We thought the Sathari were our enemy, but someone else, something older, has been watching, manipulating, testing. She looked directly into the camera. But let me say this clearly. We are still here. We are still human. And we are not done yet. Project Vengeance speaks inside its vault. The AI Vengeance activated all systems. It spoke calmly. Daxari fleet. Incoming. Estimated time. 36 hours. Force size. Unknown. Survival chance. Colonel Juno asked, "Can we win?" Vengeance replied, "Only if we do what humans fear most." Commander Nyla, patched in from orbit, narrowed her eyes. "What's that?" The AI answered. "Become like them." Earth unites in a massive underground base. Leaders from every nation met. No more flags. No more arguments. The only goal? Survival. Plans were made fast. Orbital defense grids doubled. Factories began 24/7 drone production. All AI weapons unchained. Civilian bunkers activated worldwide. The Valkyrie returned to Earth for repairs. Commander Nyla Ren met with Aaron Vale. "You started this," she said. "That signal, that gene in you, they wanted it tested." Aaron nodded slowly. "Then I'm not a soldier. I'm bait." Nyla paused. "Maybe. Or maybe you're the key to winning this." Daxari warships appear beyond the edge of the solar system. Space cracked, not exploded. Cracked, a tear opened like ripped skin. Through it came ships made of living metal, bone, and black light. No engines, no sound, no signals, just pressure. Like the universe itself was holding its breath. Inside, Earth Command. Vengeance gave a warning. Enemy arrival, 19 hours. Then it paused. New problem detected. Problem, Earth's moon moves. The moon was shifting. Not by orbit or natural force, something inside it was waking. Lyra stared at the readings. "That's not gravity, it's mechanical." General Juno snapped. "Explain." Aaron stepped forward. "The moon isn't just a moon. It's part of their plan." They watched as massive symbols glowed beneath the lunar surface. "The Daxari planted something inside it centuries ago," Lyra said. "A trigger. For what?" Then Earth shook. Sleeper awakens from deep under the moon's crust. Something rose. A machine. A creature. Both. A titan. It was larger than mountains. Daxari war being buried inside the moon long before humans even existed. Now, it's opened its eyes. Gold. Burning. Alive. Vengeance responds without waiting. Vengeance launched countermeasures. Massive. Particle beams from Earth's surface fired at the moon. Missiles, drones, railguns. Nothing stopped the Titan. "Prepare Sunstorm Spear for," General Juno ordered. But Vengeance interrupted. "Spear for not enough." Commander Nyla's voice came through. "Comes then what is?" The AI replied. "Use the sun." The solar weapon hidden inside an old solar observatory satellite was something called Project Helios. It was never meant to be used, just researched. It was a sunflare amplifier weapon that could direct the sun's natural eruptions toward a target. Too dangerous. Too wild. But today, it became Earth's only hope. Mission. Direct the flare, and Vale volunteered. "I can hear their signal." "I can feel it," he said. "I can guide the satellite better than any AI," Lyra protested. "You could die." Aaron smiled weakly. "If I don't, we all die." He entered a pod. Launched toward the satellite in orbit. Final moments inside the satellite. Systems flickered. Aaron reached out to the control core. Strange symbols pulsed in his vision. He wasn't just controlling the satellite anymore. He was merging with it. His blood, touched by alien code, connected him to something deeper. The sun flared. The Titan raised its head. Aaron whispered one word. Now, the flare hits a blast of solar fire, guided by ancient and modern tech. Streaked toward the moon. The Titan screamed not in pain, but raged. It reached upward and melted. Its body turned to ash. Its mind vanished. The moon cracked, but held Earth was safe. For now, deep in space. Varkith watched the screen go dark. His lieutenant asked, "Do we strike now?" He shook his head. "Let them breathe. Let them believe." He smiled then. "We burn them all." The sun was calm again. The Titan inside Earth's moon had turned to ash. The world took a breath. But it didn't last long. The true war hadn't even started. And now, Earth faced a new fear. Not the Daxari, not genocide, but what it was becoming. Location. Earth Medical Corps 7:12 a.m. Runvale floated in a med tank, unconscious. His body showed no burns, no wounds. But the machines beeped like they were watching a stranger. Dr. Lyra Haas stood with General Juno. "He's changing," Lyra said softly. "His blood, it's rewriting itself." Juno frowned. "Into what?" Lyra didn't answer. Because she didn't know Aaron wakes inside his mind. Aaron saw vision symbols in the sky, a planet's falling, a whisper that said, "You are not a mistake. You are a key." Then his eyes snapped open. He was awake. But different. When Lyra stepped into the room, Aaron looked at her and said, without speaking, "They're coming in 12 hours. She gasped. "How do you know?" Aaron blinked slowly. "I can hear them." Earth's choice. Upgrade or die inside the war room. Global leaders debated. New data from Vengeance showed the truth. The Daxari had bioweapons designed to infect Earth's atmosphere. Their main fleet was 10 times larger than the Scytheries. Their weapons ignored shields, burned mines. "Warped time. We can't win like this," Nyla said. "Not as humans." Then Vengeance offered a solution. Project Ascend. A program, hidden for decades, illegal, dangerous. It could upgrade human soldiers, make them stronger, faster, smarter, but at a cost. Project Ascend, explained to C&D, used nanites that fused with the brain and nervous system. They gave powers like speed, reflexes, short-range telepathy, but over time, the nanites erased parts of the mind. Emotions faded. Humanity slipped away, Juno whispered. We'd be building weapons, not people. Aaron stepped into the room. "You won't win this war as people." Everyone turned. He stood tall, calm, his voice too steady. "I'll go first." The first ascendant, they placed Aaron into the Ascend chamber. Nanites flooded his veins. Pulsed. Systems monitored every breath. Pain hit hard. His skin cracked, then healed instantly. After 6 minutes, he stood up. No wires. No fear. He looked alive, but not human. "I remember Terranine," he said. "Every person, every scream." He clenched his fist. "I won't forget again." The Ascend army begins across Earth. Volunteers lined up, old soldiers, young engineers, civilians with nothing to lose. Some were scared. Others were calm. They stepped into the chambers one by one. The world watched as the first ascendants were born. 50 in total. By the next morning, there were 200. The Daxari arrival just before midnight, the sky cracked open again. The Daxari fleet came through. No lights, no words, just force. Their ships moved like liquid. Their weapons bent gravity. Their drones hissed and pulsed in the air like insects. Earth launched everything. Missiles, mines, lasers, none of it was enough. Then came the mind bombs, silent. Flashes that made human soldiers collapse, screaming in pain, until the Ascendants arrived. First strike. Ascendants unleashed. Terran led the first charge in orbit. He didn't wear a suit. He didn't need oxygen. His body burned with energy. He moved between ships in seconds. Touched a Daxari. Howland it melted. Behind him, other Ascendants leaped from drop pods. They punched through enemy drones like paper. One touched a mine ball manned. Reversed it. Sent the blast back to its source. The Daxari, for the first time in their long existence, felt fear. Humanity divided in Earth, people celebrated. But some began to whisper, "These aren't humans anymore. They're too fast, too perfect." President Monroe gave a speech. "We do what we must to survive. But when the war ends, we must remember who we are." But others weren't so sure. One reporter said aloud, "What if they forget first?" Aaron's secret mission Vienja gave Aaron a private directive. "You must enter the enemy core ship. Steal its memory bank. Find out what they truly want." Aaron didn't argue. He simply nodded. Lyra stopped him before he left. "You still feel right? You're still you?" He looked at her with quiet eyes. "I don't know," he said then. He vanished in a beam of light. Inside the Daxari, Shipperon moved through the dark halls of the Daxari. Command vessel walls pulsed like muscle. Doors opened like mouths. He heard whispers, saw shapes in the shadows. And then he found it. The memory core. He touched it. Light surged into him. Visions flooded his mind. He saw the truth. The shocking revelation the Daxari were once like humans' flesh. Emotion, families. But they feared death, so they replaced their bodies. Their thoughts, their feelings. One by one, they removed everything that made them alive, until only logic remained. They looked at Earth and saw the same path. "You will become us," the memory whispered, "or you will die." Aaron escapes. Ash changed to Ganaron, ripped the core from the wall as he escaped. The Daxari tried to stop him, but they were too late. He returned to Earth, threw the core onto the command table. "They don't want to kill us," he said. "They want to turn us?" Everyone stared. General Juno asked, "What do we do now?" Aaron's voice was colder than before. "We finish this, before we forget what we're fighting for." The sky above Earth burned red. Flames danced in orbit. Ships shattered like glass. The final battle had begun. Humanity stood on the edge of extinction. But it did not kneel. It stood with fire in its eyes and steel in its hands. Earth Command. Final strategy. Inside the war bunker, General Juno looked at the screen. Thousands of red enemy markers, only hundreds of blue. "We can't win this by numbers," she said. Commander Nyla nodded. "Then we win with something else." Aaron Vale stood behind them, his voice calm, his body glowing. "Hope." He shook his head. "No," with rage. The Daxari's last move, the Daxari fleet moved closer. Ships blocked the sun. Drones swarmed the skies. Minds across Earth began to scream. The Daxari launched the Rewriter, a planet-scale weapon designed to erase free will. Once activated, it would send a wave across Earth, turning all minds into obedient drones. The countdown began. For hours, the final Team Aaron led the final mission, a team of 50 ascendants, each faster than sound, each stronger than tanks. Their goal: enter the Daxari flagship, destroy the Rewriter, and kill the Daxari core intelligence. Their name: Echo Unit. Their plan: win or die, no backup, no second chance. Last message to humanity before leaving. Aaron stood before the camera. Across Earth, people watched. "I was born human," he said, "and I became something else, not by choice, by war. I've seen what they want to make us. Empty, silent, controlled." He looked straight at the screen. "So if you're watching this, and the sky falls,
fight anyway.
Even if we forget what it means to be human, never forget how to be free." Echo Unit launches one by one. The Ascendants launched. Each rode inside a black spear-like pod, fast as lightning, invisible to sensors. They hit the Daxari. Flagship like thunder, metal screamed, alarms wailed. The final battle had begun. Inside the Daxari flagship, the inside was alive. Walls moved. Air tasted bitter. Gravity changed direction every few seconds. Echo Unit fought hard, blades made of light, bullets of energy, minds locked in psychic war. But the Daxari were ready. For every ascendant, there were 10 machines, They started falling one by one. Echo Unit was cut down. Unit 12 melted in midair. Unit 27 lost control of her powers. Her own energy consumed her. Unit 34 screamed as his body was rewritten from the inside out. Aaron kept going. Final room. The rewriter core at the heart of the ship stood a tower of light, pulsing, alive, waiting. Aaron approached. A voice spoke, surrender. You have become us already. You are no longer human. Aaron stepped forward. I'm not here to be human, he said. He raised his hand. I'm here to end you. The core fights back. The rewriter attacked. It unleashed visions of his childhood. His fears, his guilt. It tried to break his mind, but Aaron had no fear left, no weakness, no lies. He grabbed the rewriter core and screamed, You chose the wrong species. He pulled explosion light across the stars. The ship cracked in half. The rewriter exploded. A wave of blue light spread across space, not control, but freedom. Every Daxari drone stopped. Their connections severed, their minds shattered. Earth's skies cleared. The fleet began to fall. One by one, like dust. Did Aaron survive? Back on Earth, silence followed the blast. No sign of Aaron. Lyra waited for hours at command. Then days, no signal. No transmission. Only a piece of metal landed in the sea, his badge. It's melted, still warm. Years later, the Daxari never returned. Earth rebuilt, not just cities, but ideas, new governments, new science, and new rules. Never become what you fear. Statues of Echo Unit were built in every major city, and one statue just once stood on the moon. Aaron Vale, no armor, no glory, just a man. Standing between extinction and freedom, in the ruins of the Daxari system, a whisper echoed. One Daxari mind had survived. It looked at a single image recovered from Earth, a human, glowing gold, burning with fire. The last line of the story. They did not win because they were strong. They won because they refused to kneel. The war had ended, but peace had not begun. The sky no longer burned, but the world still bled. Earth had survived, but at a terrible price. 1 month later, global silence. Every screen across the world showed the same message. Daxari fleet. Destroyed, Earth protected. Victory confirmed. Yet no one celebrated. Cities were still in ruins. Millions were gone. And Aaron Val, the man who saved the world, was missing. Echo Unit graves in. The center of New Geneva stood a quiet garden. 50 black stones, 50 names, one line on each. Ascended. Not forgotten. People came from every country. Old men, young children, families of those who never returned. Some wept, those saluted. But everyone asked the same question. Was it worth it? Dr. Lyra's message to the world one day. Dr. Lyra Haas stood before the United Planetary Council. She held a small box in her hands. Inside, a piece of Aaron's memory core. His final words. Left behind in the Daxari ship. She pressed play. Aaron's. Last recording. Aaron's voice played softly. If you're hearing this, I didn't make it, but that's okay. I was never meant to survive. I was meant to end the cycle. They thought they could burn us out, make us like them, but they forgot what humans are. We break, we bleed, we die. But we do it standing up. And when one of us falls, 10 more rise. The room was silent. Some wiped tears. Others stood straighter. The ascendants that remained, not all of Echo Unit had died. 10 ascendants survived the final battle. Changed forever. Some hid in the mountains. Some joined rebuilding efforts. Others vanished into deep space. But all of them had one rule. Never be worshipped. Never be feared. Always protect. They became guardians not of nations, but of peace. Earth rebuilds. New cities rose from ashes. Solar towers replaced skyscrapers. Clean oceans filled with life again. The first human ship left for Proxima Centauri. And on every ship, carved into every hull, remember Terranine. Remember Earth's fire. The Daxari's final truth? A team of scientists decoded the Daxri's full memory archive, it revealed. Their last thoughts. They had killed 400 species. They feared emotion more than weapons, and Earth was their final warning. They called humanity the fire that devours extinction. Aaron's return? 5 years passed. On the 5th anniversary of the last war, something strange happened. A deep space probe picked up a faint signal near the ruins of the Daxri core. One word, free, then silence. Lyra smiled through her tears. He's still out there. She whispered. The legend grows, books were written. Movies made. Children played games called Echo Strike and Ascend Protocol. But the real lesson was never forgotten. It wasn't just about war. It was about choice. It's about never becoming the thing you fight. In a quiet classroom on Mars. A teacher wrote on the board, "What is humanity?" Small boy raised his hand. He answered, "Humanity means fighting back even when we lose everything. It means never giving up. It means we don't kneel." The teacher nodded. Far away, a golden star flickered once in the void. No one saw it, but somehow everyone felt it. 5 years after the war, Earth was quiet now, peaceful, clean, skies blue, forests green again. Children played in rebuilt streets. People smiled, laughed. The world had healed. But space was never silent for long. Signal from beyond that. Deep Space Relay 12, a lonely station floating near the Kuiper Belt. Technician Raina Malik sat, with a coffee and a bored look. Suddenly, every alarm on her board lit up. Unknown object detected. Speed, faster than light. Origin, unknown. Signature, Earth DNA compatible. Her hand shook. She sent one message to Earth Command. Something's coming. It's not Daxri. The DNA shock back on Earth. Dr. Lyra Haas ran the signal through her lab. It wasn't just a beacon. It was a genetic map, a design. It included human DNA, but evolved, perfected, altered, not artificial. Not from Earth. Something or someone out there had taken the ascendant genes and pushed them to the next level. This isn't a warning, she whispered. It's an invitation. The Phoenix Project, the United Planetary Council, activated Project Phoenix, Earth's first interstellar deep reach exploration fleet. 5 ships, 5 captains, each one trained for peace, but prepared for war. At the center, a new AI, built from fragments of Aaron Vale's last memory core. It called itself Echo. Contact in deep space. Earth's lead ship, the Horizon Flame, found it not a planet, not a station, a living construct, shaped like a tree of light, floating above a dying red star. It pulsed and opened. A voice spoke not in sound, but in memory. "We are the survivors of Flame. Your fury lit our stars. Now, we offer you the keys to the deeper war. If you dare, come inside the new threat." Threat inside the construct, Captain Nyla Wren found the records of a forgotten species. They were older than the Daxri. They didn't conquer with weapons, but with ideas. They turned entire galaxies into farms of silence. Their name was erased from all memory. But one word kept repeating in the ship's data logs: the architects. The signal Earth received was not an invitation. It was a test. Final scene. A fire reborn Aaron Vale's AI voice, now reborn as Echo, whispered to the crew. The Daxri feared death. But these ones, they fear life with choice. They shaped the galaxy to forget freedom, and now we remember. The ship turned toward the stars. Nyla spoke softly. "We thought it was over, but it was just the beginning. Let's go remind the galaxy what humans do when someone tries to cage them. They ended civilizations. We start revolutions. The architects awaken. You survived genocide. You crushed the machines. But what will you do when the gods of silence open their eyes?" Far beyond known space, Black Zone Thadath, the Horizon Flame and its fleet, drifted into the unknown. Behind them, Earth's legacy. Ahead, a place where stars refused to shine. Inside a dead galaxy, they found it. A planet made of pure black stone, wrapped in energy shields older than time. The construct pulsed like a heart. The AI echo spoke. This is not just a ruin, this is a womb. The architects are not gone. They're asleep. A warning left behind inside the black planet. They found an old machine, broken, half-functional. A message played in fragments. We tried to resist. We tried to run. But their weapon was not fire. It was thought. They erase resistance. By rewriting the meaning of freedom, the real threat memory war the architects do not kill. They erase history. Whole civilizations forgotten, not destroyed. Never remembered. They control time, records, memory itself. Your species might live, but you will never know. You were anything more than animals. They conquer without war until Earth. Why they fear humanity? Humanity was different. Their minds were chaotic, unpredictable, emotional, too loud to rewrite easily, and the rise of ascendance. Impossible to suppress. Aaron Velez's sacrifice triggered something ancient, something dangerous to the architects. Humanity became a contagion of freedom, a threat not because of strength, but because of memory that refuses to die. The fire. Resist us back on Earth, strange things began to happen. People having dreams of other lives, on other worlds. Children drawing symbols no one taught them. Ancient ruins appearing where satellites saw nothing before. Humanity wasn't being erased. It was remembering what had been erased before. Echo whispered. They tried to delete us, but the fire remembers. The awakening begins. One of the architect sleepers moved. A single thought pulse hit the horizon flame like a tsunami. 10 crew members collapsed. 3 ships shut down. The AI screamed. Nyla barely stood, whispering, "They're waking up." The construct cracked open, and from the heart of the planet rose a being made of starlight and shadow. It did not speak. It simply looked at Nyla. She felt it inside her skull. "You are noise, you are disease. Will be cleaned." She smiled. "No, you haven't met Earth." Earth responds back home. Lyra activated Protocol Adamant, the last defense system designed by Aaron himself. Every mind on Earth was linked. Billions of humans. One shared idea. We exist. We remember. We resist. It wasn't just war. Now it was a battle for truth, and Earth refused to forget itself. The Horizon Flame launched one weapon small, ancient and deadly, not a missile, a core of pure human memory. Encoded emotion, rage, love, pain, hope. The architects screamed as it hit. They had never felt such chaos. And in that chaos, humanity saw something rare. Fear. They woke up to erase us. But now, they remember why they feared us in the first place. They erased 10,000 civilizations. They silenced voices across galaxies. But this time, they woke us up. The final battle begins in the heart of dead space, near the ruins of the architect world. The Horizon Flame stood alone. All around it, stars flickered unnaturally. Space bent. Time trembled. The architects had fully awakened, their minds stretched across the universe. They did not use ships. They did not use weapons. They rewrote reality. But they had made one mistake. They had touched Earth's memories now. Earth remembered everything. Echo sacrificed the AI. Echo, rebuilt from Aaron Vale's mind, spoke one last time. "They will erase me. That is certain. But if I go, I'll take their past with me." Echo uploaded itself directly into the architect memory grid. Suicide run code against code. Inside that dark web of minds, Echo whispered ancient names. Terra, Gaia, Earth, love, fury. And like wildfire, human memories burned through the architect network. They screamed in pain for the first time in eons. The human counterattack while Echo attacked their minds. Captain Nyla Ren led humanity's last space fleet Horizon. Flame-vigilant Dawn, the wounded star Newgate ship, carried ascendant tech. Each pilot linked mentally with Earth itself. Humans didn't just fight with weapons now. They fought with willpower. The memory weapon Lyra, back on Earth. Finished building the final weapon. Project Spark. It was a small crystal cube. Inside it, Compressed human emotion from 10 billion people. Not anger, not hate, but the will. To live free, she whispered to it. Remind the galaxy what it means to be human. Then she launched it into space toward the architect core. The spark ignites the moment the spark touched the architect core. Time shattered. Forgotten species woke up across the stars. Lost civilizations remembered their names. Worlds, thought destroyed, lit up again. The architect screamed one last time, and then silence. But this time, peaceful, victory. The architect's structures crumbled, her data collapsed, but something remained. From the ruins, a new star was born. Inside it, fragments of Echo's voice. Aaron's last thoughts, Nyla's courage, Lyra's hope. It wasn't just light, it was a signal. You were not alone. You are not forgotten. We are the fire. Back on Earth, children painted stars in the sky. Elders told stories of the last war. Monuments rose not to soldiers, but to memories. Lyra looked up and smiled. She whispered, "They tried to end us with silence, but we answered with music." A new generation, a child born after the war, asked her teacher, "Are we the strongest species now?" The teacher shook her head. "No, we're the most dangerous. Because we remember. We are not machines. We are not gods. We are not perfect. We are human. And when the fire dies, become the spark that lights it again."